Alright, so now it's time to start a discussion about delegation, but first I'm going to add the main function here. Now, what is delegation? Delegation means giving power, given authority from one instance, from one class to another class. And delegation is usually used in scenarios where inheritance starts to break. So when inheritance starts to break, when you want, let's say, for whatever reason, to inherit from two classes, in that case you can't use inheritance, because with inheritance you can inherit just from only one class. But with delegation you can plug in multiple implementation of classes in your own class, and let's see how we can do that. So I'm going to create first an interface called A, and it's going to have a function called print. Then I'm going to create another interface called B, and it's going to have a function print too. Then I'm going to create a class, so I'm going to type here class, and it's going to be called first delegate, and it's going to implement the interface A here. And I'm going to press Ctrl O to override the function print here. And I'm going to create another class called second delegate, and it's going to implement the interface B. So I'm going to press Ctrl O to override the function print too. Now I'm going to create up here a class called up. So class up. Now let's say that I want here to inherit from the first delegate and from the second delegate, so and from the second delegate. And if I type here first delegate, I put parentheses, opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. If I put curly braces, now I have an underline because I should mark this as open. So mark this as open, and also this as open, because I want to show you that. So now, if I want to inherit from the second class, called from the second delegate, because let's say that I want to use the print2 function in my class for whatever reason, I can't, because I can only inherit from one class. So if I hover over here, over this underline, it says only one class may appear in a supertype list. So in other words, saying that we can only inherit from one class, and that is all. We cannot inherit from multiple classes. Now, with delegation, we can plug in multiple implementations in our own class. So what I can do here, I can say, hey, implement the interface A. So I'm going to inherit from the interface A, but you're going to say use for the interface A the implementation of the first delegate class. So this is what we're saying here. A and the keyword by first delegate, we're saying, hey, use for the interface A the implementation which is provided by the first delegate class, and that will work. Then I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to say use also for the class B. So I'm going to type for the interface B. So we're going to type B, and we're going to use the by keyword. So I'm going to type here by second delegate. So you're saying use for the interface B the second delegate implementation, and it's going to use that, and it's going to be happy with that. So you're going to see that we get no error. And now I can override here both the print function and also the print2 function. So if I press Ctrl O, now I can override also the print2. And this is inherently very powerful, because we can plug in here as many implementations as you want in your class. So this is, and if you think about in contrast with the inheritance, this is very powerful, because here you can plug in as many implementations as you want, and this is very powerful. So this is how you can use delegation in Kotlin. And next we're going to see how you can use delegation with properties. So to use delegation properties, first I'm going to paste some code here. So I'm going to paste this code here, and what we're having here is a class format delegate, which is inheriting from the read and write property, and it's overriding the get value and the set value. So we are overriding the setter and the getter inside our class, and we provide our own implementation. So whenever you use the setter to set a value or the getter to get a value, we are overriding those functions, and we provide our own implementation. Next, I'm going to create here a class, but first I'm going to delete the code and the interfaces that we have here, because we don't need this code. So I'm going to delete this code, and I'm going to create another class, and this class is going to be called user, gonna put curly braces, and I'm gonna define the properties inside the class. So I'm gonna type here var first name. So what we are doing now is we're creating a property first. It's called first name, and now I'm gonna use the by keyword. So I'm gonna say by format delegate. So what we're saying now is use the code which is inside the format delegate whenever you set the value or get the value of the first name. I'm gonna put parentheses here. Next, I'm gonna type another var last name, and I'm gonna type here again by, and I'm gonna type format delegate. So format delegate, and we put parentheses. So now what is gonna happen is that whenever you set the first name property or we get the first name property, is gonna use our implementation that we provided here. This is what we're gonna do, and the same it will be true for the last name because we are using the delegation here on properties. So I'm gonna create here a user. So I'm gonna type here val user. I'm gonna type equals to user, and I'm gonna type here with, and I'm gonna type user. This is the scope function. I'm gonna put curly braces, and I'm gonna type here first name equals Alex, and the last name equals Dobinka. Now if I output those values in the console, look what happens. So if I type here print line user dot first name and print line, let's actually use again the with scope function. Type here with, let's pass here user curly braces print line first name and print line last name. Now if you run this code, you're gonna see that it's using the overriding functions that we provide in our format delegate. So you have in uppercase letters like we defined here. It's gonna whenever we set the value, it's gonna be set it with it's gonna change the value to lowercase letters. So we get Alex and Obinka in lowercase letters. This is how you can use delegation on properties, and see you in the next video.